जी बिल्कुल, thank you for those updates from Bihar, of course. Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw has posted on X about the International Monetary Fund's latest GDP growth projections for the next 2 years. The projections show India maintaining a high growth rate of 6.4%, the highest of all the economies in the report. Projections for advanced economies averages out at 1.5%, while emerging market and developing economies average growth rate is around 4.1%. Of course, it is also notable that the global average GDP growth is roughly half of India's figures at 3.1%. This reaffirms India's position as the fastest growing economy in the world. My colleague Adarsh Tripathi joins us on the broadcast for more details. Adarsh, walk us through these projections by the International Monetary Fund. Well, of course, we'll take a look at this report by the IMF, which projects India as the highest growing economy out of all the countries in the list with a growth rate of 6.4%. What is significant also is that at 3.1%, the global average GDP growth is half of what India's GDP growth is being projected as. Of course, Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw providing this significant update. India is projected to maintain this high growth rate, of course, among all of the economies that the IMF, of course, has listed in its latest projections. The Economic Outlook report places India as the fastest growing economy with a growth rate of 6.4%. What is significant, of course, is that advanced economies are averaging at around 1.5%, which while India is maintaining its high growth rate of 6.4%. These are the latest GDP growth projections by the IMF, with India expected to maintain its high rate of growth, which is almost double of what the global GDP growth rate is at 3.1%. My colleague Adarsh Tripathi with us on the broadcast. Adarsh, please take us through this latest report by the IMF.
So what you're seeing here is basically a new report that the IMF has released. They do one of these every year, and this is basically a list of projections, right, of the growth of GDP of across the world. You can see here advanced economies, you can see projections for world output, and interestingly, you can also see that India's projections are roughly double of the global average. And also other interesting things from this to note are the GDP growth projections for Germany and Japan, which are the two economies that are above India and above and around India's GDP. Germany currently is experiencing minus 0.2% growth, while Japan is experiencing 0.2% growth in total. Right. So these are big economies that are growing very slowly, while India is growing at 6.5% currently, and it's projected to maintain that over the next 2 years by the IMF. So as you can clearly see, India is very quickly moving towards realizing its goal of becoming a top 3 economy in the world. Malvika.
Well, of course, Adarsh, thank you for those details. But let's in fact track some more developments